Yes, so I'm very happy to be right here today to discuss with you about the YALDA Hangouts and the leadership that is required from anybody who is handling a Hangout. The YALDA Hangouts is a brainchild of YALDA. YALDA International. YALDA International started the Hangouts. It was first online. And then now with the end of COVID, we have decided to make it physical. So YALDA Nigeria has pioneered the physical YALDA Hangouts, and we've had two already with very impressive results. So today, what I'll be talking about is the things you need in order to be a good Hangout leader. Now, you can delete the word Hangout and just talk about leadership.
Okay.
For you to be a leader, yes, Moses, do you have a question?
Oh, no, at all.
Okay. So feel free to use the chat box for a question so that we can get real-time feedback and know what is being said. Okay, so you can see the post on the screen. It says, never stop working towards your dreams. We all know that, yes, in YALDA, one of the things we are pursuing is the AFCFTA and how young people can make money by doing business. However, that is not the topic of our conversation today. The topic of our conversation is on leadership. How you can be a better leader. If you want to host a successful Hangout, you need to deploy leadership skills. You need to show competence or proficiency in leadership. And then one of the things, I'll list some skills that you need to have, or you need to learn, or you need to copy and imbibe in your life in order to host a successful Hangout. And not just that, to be successful as a person in your own life. But before we do that, let's even talk about the why. Why did we create the YALDA Hangouts? There are three major reasons why. We created the YALDA Hangouts because, number one, we want young people to have fun. If you notice, there are not many places in Nigeria where young people can have clean fun. Fun that does not push you to the left or to the right. Fun that is just clean, that is family friendly. It's really difficult to find many places like that. So we want where young people can sit down and think and discuss, where there's no fighting, where we are not throwing punches or abusing anybody, but we are just, having clean fun. That's one reason. And fun is a legitimate desire, even when you think about it in development. The reason for advancement in the development of societies is for people to have a good life. It is a valid reason in leadership, having a good life. So I want to welcome those that just joined us. The topic of our training today is about leadership. If you want to host a successful event as a YALDA Hangout leader, or as a host, or as a project manager, or whatever position that you may occupy, you need to be successful as a leader. Now, there are different levels of leadership, but what I really want to talk about today is self-leadership and other-centered leadership. But before we go into those aspects of leadership, I've been talking about the basic reason why we started the Hangouts. We said, number one, for young people to have an avenue where they can have clean fun, fun where they share common ground, where there is no rancor, there is no divisiveness, where we just focus and we have a common positive purpose. Number two, we want people to network. We acknowledge the fact that you cannot be successful in life and in business if you have horrendous or fractured relationships with people. if you are going to make any form of social progress, you need to be in good relationships with people. The way people get opportunities is because somebody beside them gave them an information. And that is why I quote somebody that said it, I don't remember who, but the person said that the best gift you can give anybody is the gift of information. It's not money, it's information. And that's why former President Nelson Mandela says something, that education is the most powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. What is education? It is simply information. We are giving people information. So we want people to network. That's why we created the Hangouts. So when you are a host or a project manager or a leader superintending over a YALDA Hangout or any other meeting that you may attend in the course of your life, your objective is to make sure that you give people the freedom. They are not in an atmosphere of fear, but they have freedom to express themselves in positive ways and that they can network. Number 3 is that YALDA Nigeria wants to identify leaders. We are looking for people with leadership qualities. Leadership qualities. And I'll list those qualities if time permits, so that we can, when we spot them, we can now identify these people and bring them into the fold for more empowerment, more capacity building, so that they can step up their leadership proficiency and they can fly in the sky and they can soar. So I would like to repeat what I said earlier. There are 3 major reasons why we started the YALDA Hangouts. The first one is for young people to have fun. The second one is for them to network. They need relationships to become successful businessmen or become successful citizens or human beings. Good relationships with people based on a common purpose that is positive. Number 3 is that we are looking for people with leadership qualities so that we can empower them with more. We can help polish them, finish the work, give them the information they need to become superstars. Now, there are some values that we have in YALDA, both in YALDA Nigeria and YALDA all over the world. And we want to reiterate it because Hangouts are an avenue where people will come to test you. They will come to, as we say in Nigeria, they come to look for your trouble. They find your trouble to press your button. And you have to be on your best behavior at all times. One of our values is that YALDA is non-political. We don't promote any political party or political individual. However, we encourage our members to be good citizens. A good citizen participates in the political process. You have to participate. We encourage it because if you are not participating, you are selling your birthright. However, YALDA is not a place for politicking. So as a leader, you have to learn that. You have to know that. You have to be able to rightly divide that. Our basic ideology is that YALDA is a place for common ground. Common ground is not a place for divisiveness, destroy, scatter. We look for the things that unite us. And we have a concept of Ubuntu, U-B-U-N-T-U. It means I am because you are. I am because you are. I'm existing because you are existing. And we are existing because all of us are existing. What it simply means is a policy of interdependence, not a policy of I sabi pass you. Who are you? When did they born you? Who's your father? So I've mentioned 3 reasons why we founded YALDA: fun, networking, identifying leaders. Our values in YALDA is non-political. However, we encourage good citizenship. You have to learn to divide the two. It's just like learning the difference between unity and uniformity. Unity is not the same as uniformity. Please go and check it online in your time. People can be united in purpose, but they may not be uniform. They may not wear the same clothing, but they are united. And people can wear the same clothing and shout, yes, sir, and they are not united. As a leader, you need to know the difference. Number two, YALDA is non-religious. We do not promote any religion. We do not denigrate any religion. It's non-religious. We are focusing on areas of common ground, not things that divide people. So as a leader in any of your meetings, you see things that divide people along the lines of politics, along the lines of religion, you have to intervene. You have to take disciplinary action that is fair, that everybody will look at and say, oh, this is just. However, it does not mean that we cannot have ideological differences, that we cannot say, no, I don't like free trade. I like protectionism. Another person says, no, I like free trade. That's not politics, unless it has now become a political, my party says it's free trade. My party says is protectionism. So you have to learn to divide the two. Number three that I want to point out about our values is that, to the best of my knowledge, because I'm a representative of YALDA Nigeria, of YALDA as an international body, YALDA is silent on issues of gender ideology and sexual orientation. So you need a lot of wisdom when you are operating in those kind of situations. YALDA as an organization is silent on it. So I will now move to qualities of a good leader. If you are there as a leader of YALDA, whether as a project manager or as a host or as a director or as anything, our objective is to use this method to harvest leaders. We call it branch expansion, but we are harvesting leaders because the basic reason why YALDA exists is because we want to improve leadership and development in Africa. So the events that we're having is not just let us go and have an event for event's sake. There's a purpose. We're looking for how we can replicate the ideologies of good leadership, good development capacity in those communities so that those people can be self-propelling and they will still provide or produce the results that we are producing in our respective places, or the results that is generally accepted as how good leadership and good development should be. Qualities of a good leader. Number one is empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is not pity. Empathy is not sympathy, even though they are related. Empathy is putting yourself in another person's shoes, trying to just imagine their pain and their suffering. You'll be surprised that when you are able to do that, you are now able to appreciate their problem and provide a solution from their perspective that will best suit them. A leader without empathy is not a good leader. Or let us just say he's not a leader. Because you can have a position or a title, but you are not a leader. And you can be a leader without a position or a title. I will encourage you as leaders that you are to make some research on these things that I have mentioned. And where I am wrong, you find out I'm wrong, please bring back the information and I will take the necessary adjustments. Number two, a good leader or a leader has to have the ability to inspire people. If your presence or your attitude or the components or the things that come out of you do not inspire people, if they discourage people, you are not operating in the proper qualities of leadership. That is also what you are expecting. When you sit down with people in the Hangout, those are the things you are looking for. Does this person have the ability to inspire people? Are people attracted to this person? The ability to inspire. In our local parlance, we call it, I believe you. Now they believe the guy. They believe the guy, they believe him. That's it, the ability to inspire. So you need to have that ability to inspire people, and you need to be able to spot it in other people. Number 3 is communication skills. Strong communication skills. Strong communication skills. And let me not lie to you, a significant percentage of what leadership is about is communication. Communication. A scholar defines leadership as influence. How do you influence people? It's by communication. There's another style of influence, which is control and force. That's another style. But dictionaries have also defined, they'll tell you clearly that that's control. And it falls under power and doesn't fall under leadership. Now, leadership has elements of power, but it is defined as authority. And now that you are operating as a representative of YALDA in the field, you have authority. And that authority is if you see somebody who does not have YALDA values or somebody who is clearly a troublemaker, you have the right to take disciplinary action in a civilized manner. In a civilized manner. So know that the actions you take have consequences. However, the bottom line here is that if you were the person who was creating that trouble, how would you expect, how would you want a law enforcement agent to respond to you? So you must respond in love, but with wisdom. Strong communication skills. A leader must be a good communicator. What is a good communicator? Is a person who can transfer information clearly and people will not be scratching their heads wondering, what is she saying? What is he saying? What did he mean? What did she mean? A good communicator is clear. However, there are times a good communicator might need to tell parables in order to code the message. So as a leader, another ability you need to embody or learn is situational awareness. You understand the situation and know how to move. The next thing, and one of the most important qualities that a leader needs to have, which you need to have, I need to have, and anybody that you are nominating, because part of our job is when you go to the field and hang out, you are looking for leaders that you will write down to us. And these people have to have these qualities. It's a problem solver mindset. A mindset of, oh, there's a problem here. Let's look for a solution. A good leader is somebody who is able to talk and do. The doing part is more important than the talking. Because you may not be able to talk, but you can hear somebody's advice and you execute. That is it. Leadership involves problem solving. It involves doing. It involves doing. So you need to be able to do, and people will see you. Your example will now inspire them. The next one is you need to have the ability to ask questions so that you can learn from other people. You need to be reliable. When you hold your meeting, you say it's ending in 1 hour, it ends in 1 hour, even if the heavens are falling. You need to be accountable to the people that sent you. See what we did, this is how we did it. You need to be ready to follow up on your lost sheep. And finally, I will stop here for now. You need to have a sense of duty, that this is a duty and I have to do my duty. So I've talked about the qualities of a leader, the qualities you should be looking for in leaders, in the leaders that are going to nominate through these Hangouts. I've talked about why we set up the Hangouts. I've talked about some 3 reasons why we set it up. We said it's fun. We said it's networking, and number 3, to spot leaders. That's branch expansion. So the question you ask in all these things we are talking about, leader, what is in it for me? What do I get? Yes, we know that YALDA is funding, subsidizing this Hangout, but there's something in it for you. It's an opportunity to provide solutions in your community. If you are hosting this event, it's an opportunity. Anybody coming to that event will not see me. They will not see the co-founders of YALDA International. They will see you. And you are now the point man to provide solutions. You cannot say that God did not give you an opportunity to change Nigeria. He gave it to you. He has given it to you through the YALDA Hangout. And you don't need to do anything big, but you just need to take the small thing you have seriously and do it with your life. Everybody loves Nelson Mandela, but what did he do? He had only one small thing, his people. And he went to jail for 27 or more years for them. And because of that sacrifice, he did not need to japa. People from abroad come to his country to see him and pay respect to him. Number 2, you have the opportunity to grow your leadership skills. Number 3, opportunity to grow your personal influence. Number 4, an opportunity to make a difference. Number 5, the opportunity to be like the good people that you read about, that you want to be like. This is your own opportunity. There's no need to wait until you are 40. If there's anything you need to do and you can do, this is an opportunity. Do it. We are even subsidizing it. So, with 6 minutes to go, I would just like to go through every other thing that we have said. Other discussions will continue on our platform, on our WhatsApp platform. Number 1 is that we set up YALDA for YALDA Hangouts for 3 reasons. So as a host, as a leader, as anything in a YALDA Hangout, you need to make sure the people are having fun. You need to make sure they are networking. Encourage networking. Your job is not to torment their lives, but to encourage them and make it easy for them to succeed. Number 3 is that you need to have an eye for who has the ability to lead, so that you bring them to us and we can polish them and set them forth to fly and become who they have been created to be. I mentioned some 10 things that you should look out for in a good leader and you should try to imbibe in your own life. Number 1 is empathy. Check the meaning of empathy on Google. Find what it is and emulate it. 3, or rather 2, the ability to inspire. 3, strong communication skills. If you don't have it, take some classes online on how to be a strong communicator. Number 4, you need to have a pride in your community. You need to be proud about where you come from. I guess I skipped that when I was talking before. Pride in you need to be patriotic. You need to speak positive things to people. Number 5, you need to have a problem solver mindset. You need to be a doer. Talk and do. Talk and do. Avoid excuses. Avoid excuses. Ask yourself, what can I do? What am I supposed to be doing that I have not done? Is there anything I can do to make this thing better? How do I contribute to improving the lives of these people? Those are questions that should burn in your mind. What are the resources I have that I can deploy to improve this situation? 6, ask people questions. Learn from them. That's being humble. Number 7, reliability. Show up when you said you will show up. I'll be there by 1. Be there by 1. We are closing by 2. You close by 2. 8, accountable to people that sent you. 9, do follow up. Look for the people who are vulnerable and need assistance, not to take advantage of them, but to help them. Make sure you are helping, not using. Make sure you are helping, not using. If you are using people, you are not a leader. You are not a leader. Leadership is not about using people. It's about helping, empowering, setting people free, not putting them in bondage. If your ideology of leadership is they will serve me, I will be the Lord over them, I will be the Oga, you do not have the right orientation for leadership. And then finally, you need to have a sense of duty. It is a job and it needs to be done. I also mentioned the things that are in it for you. At this juncture, I will just have to end because our time is up. And then if you have any feedback, we have 1 minute. I can see 3 minutes here, but I'll say let's use 1 minute. Anybody that has anything to say, please say in the chat box, and then we can end this meeting and then continue our conversation on WhatsApp and have this meeting again next Saturday. For those who will be present, we will continue the conversation for a period of time until this becomes part of us. So thank you very much for listening. Any question, you have 1 minute, you know the thing will cut off by itself. Please use the chat box. Okay. Hangout announcement. Oh, yes. So, haha. Thank you so much for reminding me. So, by the special grace of the Almighty, we are having our first Hangout in Zamfara. It'll be coming up soon. It's a pity that our supposed host is not, but we are grateful that we are expanding. So the poster will be posted on the group. So thank you very much for that reminder. Okay, so gentlemen, at this juncture, thank you very much. I deeply appreciate you bringing out your time to come and listen to this training. Thank you so much, and happy independence. Happy independence. And I pray that Nigeria becomes everything and more that you desire it to be. Thank you so much.